Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, I'm going to be showing you DataStoreService and how to save players' data. So let's get right into it. So what I have already right here is the player service and getting when a player is added and when a player leaves. Now just to beware guys, I will be adding on to this the services, like I'm going to be adding more to that, and I'm going to be expanding and adding different stuff, but this is just a base so I don't overwhelm anybody at the start, but we are going to be adding on to this. So in my notes, I have saving player currency, just the basics, saving multiple values, we're going to be getting into that, and we're also going to be saving lots of values, like inventories and pets. Okay, so to our services, let's get the data store service. Just to start, so data store service, because that's what you need. Let me fix my keyboard so I can type decent. So game, get service, data store service, and then we're going to be getting a data store, like a new data store. So I'm going to call this my currency is gonna be cash, so I'm gonna say cash data store. So we'll go with cash data store. So you can put whatever you want here if for your currency. But I'm gonna say data store service get data store. So we are creating a new data store and we're gonna call it just the same thing, cash data store, just like that. All right. So in our player added, this is really basic, like it's just creating a folder, leader stats, and creating the coins value. So I'm going to do that real quick to save time. Okay guys, so I have the leader stats typed out, and basically if you don't know what this is doing, this is making a new folder in our player value when they join, and it is making a cash instance value. So that is basically our currency, the way we can keep track of our cash. So we're going to go down, and we're going to say local data. I'm going to type everything out, and I'm going to explain everything. So success, error, message, pcall function. Data will be equal to cache data store, get a sync with the key of the player.user ID. Okay guys, so what I'm doing is I'm creating a blank variable called data. This is not equal to anything, I'm leaving it blank. So I'm just gonna say local data. Now, there are two things coming from this p call. If it's a success and the error message if it wasn't a success. A p call is a protected function. You always want to use these in data stores because data stores is the thing in Roblox that will is the most likely to break or something. Just something happens to it. So we're going to wrap that in a p call, and we are setting data. Data will be equal to get a sync. It will be equal to the cache data store get a sync player user ID. What this is doing is the data will be equal like get a sync. What this is doing is okay, so we're going cache data store. Okay, cache data store, get a sync. Get a sync returns the data or whatever we have in that cache data store. So we are getting the data and then we need the key for which it is stored. So for every key, it's a player user ID and their data. So what we're doing here is searching in the data store, the cache data store, and we're finding the key by the player user ID, and that is what the data is equal to if we have any data. Alright guys, so that is what it's doing here. It's getting the data. And if it found data, so if success, if we found data, then cache.value will be equal to data, because data will be equal to cache. So there we go. So guys, to go over this again, we are trying to get the data from the player when they join. And if we have data for them, we will load it, because right we are making the folder and the instance value, but the value will be 0. So we are setting the value here if they have data. But if you are the first time joining or something like that, and if you do not have data, then this will not be success. This will not be a success. Then you would say else coins.value will be equal to 0. Or I mean, I put coins cache. I meant cache will be 0 because you don't have any data saved. Okay, and then guys, we're going to go down to the player removing event, and in here we are going to basically do the same thing. This is going to run when the player leaves, and if it was a success, then then we save the data, and there wasn't, then we'll print the error. Okay guys, so what we're just going to do is copy this, get rid of data, and get rid of the data equals that, and get rid of this, and get rid of that. Okay, so we're going to say set async, but I'm just going to make a variable for the player user ID. So we'll go on player user ID is equal to player.user ID, and toss that in here. I'll explain everything when I'm done, and then we're going to say player.leaderstats dot cache dot value. Then down here, I'm going to say if success, then data successfully saved, and then print. If it was not a success, then there was an error while saving your data. We'll go with that. Okay guys, so what we're doing is we're basically doing the same thing, but we are setting the value, remember? Okay, so we are getting the data. Here, we are setting it in the data store. And what we are doing is, again, from the key, we are setting the key. We are also setting the player's cache value to this key, so we know which player has what amount of cache. We're checking if it was a success, we saved it, then yeah, and that just handles everything. I have to mind you guys that this is only working for one value. It would look different if it were saving multiple values, which we will get into, but mind you, this is only for one value. But also guys, the server, if you are the only person in a server and you leave and the game shuts down before the game shuts down before the stats are saved, well, what we need to do there is say game : bind to close function, and then say for underscore comma player in players get just get players do, and then what we need to do from here is we're going to put this player removing this whole thing into a local function. So up here, we're going to say local function, save data with the player, type check player, and put the same thing here. So then in the player added, we can just say save data player. Same thing down here. And then there you go. Now, mind you guys, to actually make datastores work, you have to have a published Roblox game. And what you also have to do to make this work, it has to be published, and you need to go to, I think it's security, and you have to enable Studio access to API services, which enable the Studio to access game services such as datastores. You have these two things to make datastores work. I know you guys can't see this, so hold on. But again, you need to have a published game, like it's right here. Here's my published. Here's my published game. You have it published, and then security. I have all these checked, but you need to enable Studio access to API services. Now, guys, I'm gonna add on to this save data script. What you also are going to want to say is warn with the error message, because if there's an error message, then we're also going to warn that in the output, so you guys also see that. Alright guys, so when you join in the game, I already had tested it to make sure it saves, just so I could fix any errors before I actually show you guys it. But I already have 100 cash, but I'm gonna add another line of code that makes me have 200. Oh, I keep set. Okay, 200. My bad. Okay, so we're gonna set it to 200 by running that line of code, just setting our cache value, and our cache is at 200. So let me leave the game and rejoin. Okay, I left and rejoined, and I still have my 200 cash. So there you guys go. That is how you save one value. Okay, guys, so let's get into saving multiple values. And it's pretty much the same exact thing. We just have to switch some stuff up. So we're First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look through and see what we can do. Let me figure this out, guys. Okay, guys, so what you actually need to do, I just remembered, is in your saved data, what you need to do is make a data variable. So data, and that would be equal to a table. Now, say we are saving cache, which that would be equal to leaderstats.cache.value. But let's say we are also going to save diamonds. Okay, so let's make that diamonds. Okay, so we're going to save diamonds and cache. Well, what we would then say is in our data, we would then say diamonds equals player.leaderstats.diamonds.value. And then in here, what we are saving, our value we are saving will be data. So we are saving both of those things at once. The power of tables. And then when we get back here to when we are loading it, we are then going to say cache.value will be equal to data.cache. Same thing with diamonds, diamonds.value. We go to data.diamonds, sorry. And I'm just going to set diamonds to 0 again. If they have nothing saved, then there you go. That's how you save multiple values like 2, 3, or 4. Okay guys, so I'm in the game. My cache is set to 0, but that might be because I'm saving it differently. So just keep that in mind. I think that is happening because I already had a data save. I'm just doing it differently now, but we're going to see. So I have 0 cache, 0 diamonds, and I'm going to set it. Okay, so I set my cache to 100, and I set my diamonds to 100. I'm going to leave and rejoin. And when you join back, you guys can see I have my 100 cache and my 200 diamonds. Okay guys, so let's get into saving lots of values like pets and your inventory. So what I'm going to do is get rid of my diamonds and my cache. And I'm going to say these are going to be my pets. This is going to be my pets folder where all my pets are going to be. And cache data store, I'm going to change that to pets data store. Okay, and put the same thing there. Alright, and we're going to have to switch all this up. So pets data store. And right there. Okay guys, so in our saved data, what we are going to be doing is saying we're going to create a new table. So local, maybe pets. I think we'll just call it pets equals a new table. We are then going to say go down for underscore, comma, we'll say pet in player dot pets get children do, and then we're going to say table dot inserts pets and then pet dot name. So what this is doing is we're creating a new pets table, but what we're doing here is going through every value, because how we represent this in code is every single pet a player owns is represented by a string value, and the string value's name is the pet name. So like cat, dog, you know, all that. So what we are doing is we are going through every pet the player has in the folder, and we are adding that pet to this pets table, which we will then save later. So what you just have to do now is say pets will be equal to replace data with pets, and that should work. Okay, so let's fix this part up. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to say if success. We're also probably just going to say and data. We're just going to add that. And then we are going to say for i comma v in data do. And then this is where we make our string value. So local pet value is equal to instance.new string value. Pet value dot name is equal to v, and pet value dot parent will be equal to pets. I'm pretty sure, yeah, pets. Alright, now else, I don't really know what to put here, so I'm just gonna say else print no data. I'm probably just gonna put no data. Or else you guys could just delete else and this, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay guys, so I made a part, and in the part I have a click detector, and I also have a script. So basically in the script every time I click on the part, then it's making a new value, and I'm just going to name it cat. You can name it whatever pet, but I'm just testing this. So yeah, I'm gonna play the game and test it out now. Also, if you guys didn't know, if you aren't testing this in Studio, you want to go to File and Publish to Roblox to make sure that whatever changes you do make are updating when you join the actual game that isn't in Studio. Okay, guys, so there's our part, and I'm gonna click the part 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. I am then gonna leave the game and rejoin, and I will show you guys how you can check to see if it's saved. Okay, guys, so I have this line of code. I am going to put that in, and oh, I think I did that wrong. Oh, I did. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I was looping through the player and not the player's pets. So if I put in the new line, then there we go. There's a 4th cat because I was already testing it. But as you can see, my 3 cats also saved along with the other cat I was testing. So there you guys go. And also, guys, you don't actually always have to test in a real game. What you can just do is go into Studio and then go to your players, go to your pets, and there's your cats there. But if you want to get rid of those, you can, and insert your own string value. And we're going to call this maybe dragon. You know, this is our dragon pet. You can leave, and then when it saves, you can rejoin. And in your players, in your pets, oh, my cats are still there. It might not have saved in time, but you guys can do it in Studio if you want to. But I usually do just in a real game because stuff like that usually happens in Studio where it doesn't save, because that's just a little Studio thing, you know, Studio type weird stuff. Alright guys, that was today's video. If you guys did learn something from this video, or you just enjoyed it, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.